This program is brought to you by Thai Vision Media, helping stokvels and burial societies reach their goals. Welcome to Ke Zaka Stokvel Insights, a platform where stokvel and burial society members learn more about the world of business, and business leaders get to understand more about these investment vehicles. If you would like to answer, or if you'd like us to answer rather, some of the questions that your group has, please send us a voice note using the number below. And you can also contact us using the email info@thaivisionmedia.co.za, and do engage with us on our socials below. Today, we will be revisiting the subject of investment opportunities for stokvels and the processes of creating an asset management company with my expert guest, Anrich van Jaarsveld, who is a lecturer in the Department of Finance and Investment Management at the University of Johannesburg. Before we get into the discussion, this week's question is from Indzuzo Yamaqobokazana Investments Club.
My name is Ella from Indzuzo Yamaqobokazana Investment Club, which is the name of the stokvel. Our stokvel is an investment stokvel. We invest in unit trust. We invest in stock exchange through the Easy Equities platform. What we would want to know or find out from you guys is that is there any way that you can assist us to equip us and the executive and the members of the stokvel in achieving our goal? And also, what other investments that you think the stokvel should look into?
Stokvels have evolved into tactical investment groups with an objective to grow and sustain wealth by looking for investment opportunities within the markets. There's a variety of fintech platforms in the market that give stokvels the opportunity to build their own corporate investment portfolios. Anrich, this is a big market valued around 45 billion rand, with 800,000 registered or unregistered, active or unactive groups. So what are some of the current trends here when it comes to stokvels? What are they getting right?
I think if you look at stokvels historically, Nonto, we see that it's a traditional, I want to call it financial security among a certain demographic of people of South Africa. So what you see, traditional sense was when you look at a stokvel, it's primarily, let's call it, black female dominated. Whereas if you look at the new trends, like one of the groups we'll be discussing this in this interview, it's more inclusive, more diverse. So what we see is new demographics joining the stokvel community, and as well they are embracing technologies such as fintech platforms.
I like that you touched on how it was more of a savings vehicle for black females. But what are we seeing, in terms of research? Because we don't see much, but you're seeing a lot of financial institutions trying to design their products, aligning to this. So why aren't we seeing much out there?
I think, like I mentioned, it's a long traditional financial security that has been in South Africa in a certain demographic. So I think one of the reasons why there's not enough research on that specific era is exposure. I mean, the first time I heard of a stokvel, I was at university when we were discussing it in one of our lectures. Before that, I had no experience or knowledge of what is a stokvel and how it works. So I think if there can be more exposure at different levels, like university, in practice, and so on, and just making the community aware of what is a stokvel, what are its benefits, what is it used for, then that will allow a lot more insight into that topic.
Now, just looking at, the group that we're looking at today, which is Indzuzo, this is a massive group of women. I think it's around plus minus 70. And within 2 years, they have achieved so much and have diversified their portfolio. What is it about their model that's working for them right now?
Well, first, I think if you can grow to 70 plus members in 2 years, you're doing a lot of things right.
That's a lot of friends also.
Yes, indeed. And what I heard in the voice note was that it sounds that they're doing a lot of the fundamentals right. So they have diversified their portfolio, investing in different asset classes. I'm assuming the regulation compliance is also in order. And the second factor, which I think is also a major contributor of success of a stokvel, is its sense of community, to help the members, to help the community at large and to serve them. So I think those two factors, if you can combine them, then they can probably grow in the next 2 years, double their number of members.
Which is quite, impressive as well. I mean, one of the long-term or short-term investments that they touched on was unit trusts. They're looking into going into property. They are also within easy equities as well. But just looking at unit trusts specifically, can you just expand or just share what are unit trusts exactly and why is it a favorable investment tool for individuals and stokvel groups?
Yeah, I think if you just cover the topic of unit trust, so what is a unit trust? It's essentially a basket of different financial securities. So if you think like you're going to the supermarket, you've got your basket in your hand, milk, bread, all the essentials. So that's essentially a basket of financial securities. Financial securities being, among other, shares, bonds, commodities, cash, and so on. So that is a basket managed by professional asset managers. And they pull the funds together, that full basket, and then they divide it into units. So you as an investor purchase 1 unit of that entire basket. Yes.
Okay, that actually makes quite a lot of sense. Why would unit trusts be a favorable investment tool as opposed to something different?
I think first because it's managed by a group of professional asset managers. So that takes the whole risk of I need to know this and that about finances and so on. That takes that risk away. I mean, secondly, it also offers a lot of liquidity. So you can access those funds on a short-term basis. You don't have to wait 5 years, for example, to access those funds.
Now, it's quite interesting how you just broke that down. And I think here it's also interesting that they decided to have both short-term and long-term investments. From your perspective, is that a good move to make, especially when looking at the size that this group is?
I think if you start with the size of the group, I think that's a luxury they have. They have an option to divide it between short-term and long-term investments. I think if it was a smaller group, let's say 10 members, but we've had to lean more towards short-term. Because if you look at long-term, you tend to want to invest more funds into that. And even though it will offer a higher return over the long term, there's also the increased sense of risk because there's that positive correlation between risk and return. So them dividing between short-term, I think that's a very clever move because they can offer liquidity if they need funds for an emergency or something like that immediately. The short-term offers that liquidity and the lower risk. And then they don't have to delve into the funds of a long-term. Because what you want to do is you don't want to constantly withdraw from that long-term. You want to leave the money there and keep on reinvesting in order to maximize your returns over the long term.
I have a sense that there are quite a lot of, investment or financial experts within this group right here, but we're going to expand more right after this break. Please do stay with us.
Are you a member of a stokvel or burial society? We at Thai Vision Media specialize in helping stokvels and burial societies. Contact us for professional stokvel and burial society administration, access to investments and funeral cover experts, and credible financial information. We will help your stokvel and burial society to achieve your goals and grow. Contact us today.